Let's get started with today's Bible study. We titled this Birthing Pain. I heard this story of a, a couple, a husband and a wife, who went hiking in the mountains. And while they were hiking in the mountains, they came up on this mushroom patch. It was so beautiful. And they asked each other, they said, man, what kind of mushrooms are those? And they said, man, those are the kinds of mushrooms that you can eat. And they're really good if you just bake them a certain way and you put them in a certain thing. I mean, it was acres and acres of mushrooms. So they grabbed the mushrooms and they began to put them in all of their things. And they began to put them in all of their baskets. They put them in their croaker sack. They put them in their book bags. I mean, they got bags and bags and bags of these mushrooms. They took the mushrooms home, and the wife, she was a chef. So she was able to make a mushroom casserole. She made a mushroom dessert. She made some kind of mushroom stew, and she invited all of her friends over, and they began to sit down and break bread and have a wonderful dinner. They were laughing and cracking jokes, having a wonderful time over this mushrooms that they had ran up on and picked. After everybody had eaten, the wife gathered everything together, and she went to go get the dessert that she had made out of the refrigerator. But as she was walking in, she had a full of scraps from what everybody had eaten. She had an old cat that was down there on the floor. So she took the scraps and she raked them. I'm from the South. Rake means, she actually began to dump them in the old cat bowl so the cat could eat the leftovers that the guests didn't eat and what they didn't eat. The cat, man, was eating those things, man. She was tearing it up. And so the wife took the dessert in the living room and began to serve the guests. But she remembered, I forgot to get the ice. So she goes back in the kitchen. And when she goes in the kitchen, she finds her cat foaming at the mouth, shaking all over, shivering, vomiting, convulsing all over. And she goes ballistic. She gets on the phone and she dials the veterinarian because the cat looked as if it was about to die. She calls the veterinarian and she begins to tell him what the cat is doing. She said the cat is foaming at the mouth, it's shaking all over, it's shivering. The eyes are rolling in the back of his head. I think the cat is going to die. And the veterinarian asked a very strange question. She said, what did you give the cat to eat? She said, well, we found some mushrooms in the mountain. I brought them home. I cooked them. I fed them to all of our guests. And then I took the scraps and I fed them to my cat. There was a long pause on the phone. The veterinarian said, whatever you do, get you and your guest to the emergency room. Because I believe what you all have ingested are toadstool mushrooms. They're poisonous, and you only have moments before you die. With tears in her eyes, she runs in the living room. She explains to the guests what had just happened. All of them grab their things. They race to the emergency room, get their stomachs pumped, and escape death. Nobody lost their life. They gather their things, they leave the emergency room, and they begin to head home. But she remembers that she did not get her cat to the veterinarian in time. So all the time she was riding home, her expectation was to find the cat laying there dead on the floor. With dread, when they pulled into the garage, she began to shake as she took the key out of her purse and began to open the door because she was just knowing that she was going to find her lifeless cat laying there on the floor. When she opened the door, to her surprise, she did not see the cat laying there on the floor dead, but she saw the cat alive, giving milk to a litter of kittens. What she thought was death pains was actually birthing pains. You know, every year we start the year off and everybody have these wonderful goals and dreams that you're trying to go after, man. But I want to ask you some questions. Are you possibly experiencing birthing pains? Are you at a point now in your life where things seems like they're not like they used to be? I mean, you're at a crossroad. I mean, you're making some major mistakes. People that you depended on are walking away from you, and you think the relationships are about to die. I mean, people that you thought would be with you through the thick and through the thin, they're walking away, and you're thinking, man, I'm experiencing death in a relationship. Maybe it's not that. Maybe you're feeling isolation that you've never felt before. Maybe you're feeling a deep yearning that you've never felt before. I want to submit to you that what you are experiencing is not death pains, but I believe that you're possibly experiencing birthing pains. I believe that God is trying to take you and shift your life from one level to the next level. So I wrote down some things. You know, my wife has given birth. She's given birth and given me 3 beautiful sons. I mean, 3 amazing boys. And throughout her pregnancy process and throughout her birthing pains, all of them was a little bit different. But what I've noticed is that there are 5 things that she went through during her birthing process that were common throughout all of them. And I believe that we can analogize this to what you're doing when God is trying to birth your goal. He's trying to birth your vision. He's trying to birth something in the earth that has never been done before, and only you can do it. But you're experiencing some pains right now, and you're wondering, are these pains that I'm experiencing is a sign that I need to stop? I believe that what you are experiencing is a sign of God pushing you in the direction that you need to go so that you can birth what God has called you to do in the earth. Now, I don't want any female out there to please do not take me out of context. I'm a man. I don't know what it feels like to have a child. I have no clue. But I was there with my wife, hand in hand, as she was going through these processes. But there are 5 things that she experienced. The first thing she began to experience is discomfort. Now, pregnancy, as my wife said, is not 9 months. It's actually 10 months. But over the cycles, they're broken into different cycles, and every cycle has something that you experience during the first trimester, the second trimester, and the third trimester. You experience different things, but one thing that is common throughout the entire trimester process is discomfort. Things you used to do, you can't get comfortable doing them no more. I mean, people you used to hang around with, and we used to have the same kind of conversation. I mean, we used to vibe the same kind of way. I mean, we used to have a thing going, but now all of a sudden, I'm not comfortable doing it anymore. I feel discomfort in doing that. Another thing I noticed that my wife experienced was an appetite change. An appetite change. She began to crave certain things, and one of her things that she would crave was ginger. She loved ginger snaps. She would have an appetite change, but one of the things that she could not stand, or one of the things that she did not want, or one of the things that she could not tolerate was boiled chicken. Now, anybody that know Bishop, that is a stereotype that is true when it comes to me. I love chicken, but she could not stand the smell of it. She couldn't stand the taste of it. Her appetite shifted. Her appetite changed. And even now, we don't even really do that much boiled chicken. Now, even after the birth of all of our children, we still don't do a whole lot of boiled chicken. Her appetite changed. Let me ask you a question. Has your appetite shifted? Has your appetite for friends changed? Have your appetite for a career move changed? Has your appetite, that thing that used to satisfy you back in 2014, it doesn't satisfy you anymore? That appetite, that longing. I mean, you used to have a certain tolerance for sin, but now all of a sudden you have a desire. You don't want to go out and hang in the club no more. You don't want to do this no more. You don't want, there's something about your appetite that has shifted you in the next dimension, and you're thinking that the relationships that are around you dying, and you're wondering, something is wrong with me. Yeah, something is wrong with you. God is trying to birth something in you, and what you are experiencing is a birthing pain. The third thing I noticed that my wife began to have was nausea. Nausea. She experienced nausea throughout all 3 of her pregnancies. I guess that's one of the reasons why she loved ginger, because ginger would ease the nausea. Let me ask you a question. Is there some folk in your life you just sick and tired? Or maybe it's a financial situation and you're trying to get out of debt. You're trying to move your life forward, and you've looked at your life at the beginning of the year and you've said, I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired. I'm sick of trying to explain myself to folk. I'm sick of trying to tell people and get people to accept me. I'm sick of it. I'm tired. It's becoming to a point now that you are making me sick. It's amazing to me that a lot of people are not dying because of what they're eating, and dying because of what is eating them. It's something down on the inside of you that's eating at you and is making you sick. You're tired of being around a certain group of people. You're tired of hearing the same news. You're tired of gossiping over the same thing over and over and over again. You've gotten to a place in your life now where you're just sick of it. My wife, she experienced nausea. Another thing she experienced was mood swings. This was amazing here. Mood swings. One day she was up, and then she was down, and she was happy, and she was sad. Now my wife didn't get to the point where she would cry and different things like that, but her tolerance level became low. Are you at a point right now where you know what? Some stuff you're just not going to tolerate. You know, I'm at a place right now in my life, I'm just not going to tolerate it. I'm at a place right now where I'm not going to keep getting you to cheerlead my dream. I'm at a place right now when I don't want to get you to keep on buying into what I'm trying to do. And you're trying to get people to obey God. You're trying to get people to get on your bandwagon and follow you. And they're just at a place right now where they're all over the place. Has your mood just shifted? You're tired of that. You're tired of that right now. The last thing that my wife experienced throughout all of her pregnancies, the last thing she experienced was pain. Pain. She had 2 of her children natural, and then she had one who actually had to go in and do the surgery. But throughout all 3 pregnancies, she experienced pain. Sometimes I couldn't do anything to help her with her pain. Sometimes, and it used to hurt me to my heart because I tried everything, but the pain was so intense. There was nothing that I could do. Are you there? Are you at a place right now? You're sitting in a church and the preacher is preaching, but he's not touching the pain. Are you at a place right now and you're in a relationship but the relationship is not touching the pain? Are you in a place right now, no matter what you try to do? Maybe you at a place right now and you smoking weed, and the more weed you smoke, you still cannot numb the pain. Maybe you at a place right now where you're very promiscuous, and no matter who you sleep with, you're trying to sleep it away. You're trying to have sex. You're trying to screw it away, but you cannot screw away the pain. Maybe you're at a place right now where you're an alcoholic and you love to drink, and no matter how many drinks you take, you still cannot get rid of the pain. Maybe you at a place right now where you don't have any of that, but maybe you are a workaholic and you're trying to overindulge yourself at work, or maybe you have some type of strange hobby that you love to do. Maybe you like to work out. I don't know what it is, but no matter what you're trying to do, you're trying to divert yourself away from the pain. But no matter what you do, you go to bed with it on your mind. You wake up with it on your mind. You go to work with it on your mind. You take a shower and the thing is still bothering you. It's on your mind. There's a pain that's down, or there's a yearning down on the inside of you, and nobody can touch it. Nobody can minister to it. You're wondering, I see all of this stuff going on and nobody sees what's going on and nobody's trying to help, but you know why? Because God has called you to minister to that pain. You're the only one that can touch it. So you're not experiencing death pains. What you are experiencing are birthing pains. And I'm telling you right now, my wife could not get rid of that pain until she gave birth to our 3 beautiful boys. And I'm telling you right now, no matter how much you drink, no matter how much you smoke, no matter how much people you sleep with, no matter how many jobs you take on, no matter what church you sit in, no matter what minister you sit under, no matter what tape you listen to, it's not going to stop the pain of your calling. Is now. And the only way that that pain can be healed, he said, if you draw nigh to me, I will draw nigh unto you. The thing that is missing is your destiny, your call, your purpose. It is your time. It's your time. It's your season to walk in the thing that God has called you to walk in. This is your year. This is your year. When 2017 went out and 2018 came in, you knew down on the depths of your heart it was something different about this year. You couldn't put your hand on it. You couldn't put your finger on it. You didn't know the pulse of it, but you begin to say, it's something different about this year. Something different. It's something different. The difference is it's time. It is your time. This is your time. Stop trying to explain away the thing that God has called you to do. Stop trying to explain away your destiny. Stop trying to explain away your purpose. Stop trying to explain away your call. Stop looking for folks to bind to it. Stop looking for folk to invest in it. You walk in it.